Hey y'all, Rich with Hickory Sticks Woodworks Northwest. So these are my entries for the Jenni Davis challenge, for their scrap wood challenge that they do every year. They sent me a box of 16-pound box of scrap woods, and this is what I've made from them. And these are some of my leftover pieces here. But this is a jewelry stand, mounts on the wall, got the hooks on the back, rods are up here for the rings. And this is the first one I made, and decided after I was done making it I still had enough wood left over to make another one. And this has the rods coming out front and hangers on the back, of course. So it's a little bit different take on the same thing. But we've also made a set of 4 coasters. These were all made off the cut off ends of the boards that they make. So these are all cut off ends off their charcuterie boards or cutting boards or whatever. So they sent a bunch of those, and I just glued them back up and made a set of coasters and a base for the coasters to sit on. And I believe these are the coasters are maple and cherry, and the base itself is made out of walnut, and the little stems are made out of walnut dowel. And out of the same stuff there, I made a trivet for a hot pad type thing out of the same stuff here. So if you want to see how this is all done, stick around. We'll show you how I made them. Full walkthrough on everything, and we'll get these pictures of these made and taken and sent to Jenni Davis and see how they fare in the competition. Wish me luck. All right, see you on the other side. Hey y'all, welcome to Hickory Sticks Woodworks Northwest. My name is Rich, and welcome to my shop. So today we're going to be working on a little challenge. A lot of y'all know who Jenni Davis are. They got a YouTube program they've been on for a long time. Samaro table company. They make a lot of kitchen tables, that kind of stuff, and charcuterie boards, cutting boards. So they do a program where you buy a package of their scrap wood, and you send a picture in of whatever you make, and they have a little challenge, and I think they're giving away like a couple $100 gift card to Home Depot or whatever company that they're getting their gift card from. So I figured, why not? I got plenty of scrap wood here to work with of my own, but this might be a fun little challenge. So this is the box that they sent me. You can see on it right there, Samaro Table Company. And yes, I've already opened it. That's because I couldn't stand the waiting to see what was inside, but this is exactly how it was packaged. This is the hi there, congrats for getting the box of scrap for the challenge, Jenni Davis, and one of their nice little stickers right there, so you can see what they got there. So we're going to open this up, lay it all out, and try to figure out what it is we're going to make out of this stuff. So right off the top, I see a whole bunch of cut off ends from, looks like probably cutting boards or charcuterie boards that they were making. So there's a bunch of this in here. Move this over a little bit so I got some room to lay this out. They said I could add something out of my own collection of woods to this to make whatever it is we're gonna make. So let's see what we got here first before I figure out exactly what it is I'm going to make. I'll put a little bit of this stuff here. Maybe you see some nice pieces of walnut here. Nice hole in that one, but we'll cut around that. That looks like a nice piece right there. Got a little snipe in it right there, but I think we can cut that down. That's a nice piece of walnut there. A little nice bigger piece here. Now you just gotta have to straighten that out a little bit. Little white, little edge on there. It's like a whole bunch of little pieces of walnut. Nice little piece of walnut there. And that looks like some maple and some cherry. So that's primarily what they work with is walnut, maple, and cherry. So that's pretty much what I expected to see in the box. And I think it looked like it got a pretty good combination. Out of the box, get it on the table so I can lay this out, figure out what we're gonna make. With the hard ones to try to figure out what to do something with are these that are cut off ends. That's going to take some thought process to figure out what to do with those. So, alright, well, I'm going to try to figure out what to do with these. This is what I have to work with. You know, it's a $35 challenge, 16-pound box of scrap, and I don't think that's a bad deal at all for being able to join into something that's fun. You know, this is going to be a fun little project. Whatever it is I try to figure out to do, so we're just gonna have a little fun with it. Stash, found a couple pieces of purple heart to go with this. I like the cherry and maple and walnut and purple heart combination. Looks real nice together. So I found a couple pieces about this size, a little over an inch thick, inch wide, 3/4 thick. So it's actually a little bit taller than the other pieces. So I cut one piece down to as an accent in here. I don't want it to overtake everything else, but I like that. So I think this piece here, I'm going to rip it down the middle, and I'm going to glue these inside there and make one piece out of this. And I think with this piece, I'm just going to rip a small piece off the back of it and laminate these all together into one piece. And I'll thin this down a little bit because, again, I don't want it to overtake and overshadow everything else. And we'll figure out something else from there. I'm not really, I still don't know what I'm building. This is where I'm going with it. So we'll get started with this. So let's get over to the table saw, and we'll rip this down. And we'll cut these off on the chop saw a little bit, square this up, and see where we go from there. I'll let that dry. And let's take a look at this. Alright, so this is our piece. I threw it on the CNC machine, flattened the top of it down and the bottom, both sides. And I thought while it was on there, I'd just go ahead and pocket out a couple pockets on this. Now I'm going to take change to a 1/4 inch down cut bit and cut the outside profile on this off of here. And then while it's doing that, I'm going to work on some of this other stuff over here. So these were the single strips that were put in here, cut off ends off of charcuterie boards or whatever they're making. I went ahead and glued up this set, and that set there. So whenever this is done, I'll go ahead and surface those on the CNC machine as well, flatten them all out, and we'll do something with those. So this piece here was the piece that had the big knot in it, so I went ahead and cut the knot out of it, squared it up, so now I got two pieces there. This was the piece that had that big snipe in it, so I ran it through the planer, got the snipe out of it. It does have a nice little crack in this end, so I'm gonna have to shorten it up in there or take a cut off. I'm not really sure what I'm doing with it yet, and I still got all these little pieces here. Not really sure what I'm going to do with those yet either. But this is our other piece that we glued up together, and I just took the bottom of the glue tip, put it on there, and rounded off this end of it. So somehow that's going to work on this, I think. I hope. Kind of thinking something like that and set it on there. We'll see how it looks when I get it all cut out here. See what we're gonna do with it. So anyway, that's where we're at. I'm gonna get this fired up and changed over and get this cut out first. Alright, so that's one side done, got it surfaced, got it routed out with that. So now I got to flip this over and change the surfacing bit from the tooling bit, surface the other side, and then tool the other side, and then cut the outside pattern of it out. Alright, so after a wee bit of sanding, got the edges all cleaned up all the way around, we now have a trivet. I think it looks out pretty good. Now I just got to throw some oil on there or something to finish it off and clean it up. It's already cleaned up, but I just gotta put some finish on it. So next we're going to turn our attention to these two pieces here. We're going to get these flattened down and do something with those. So you throw those on there and get them surfaced and go from there. So I got the drill and a little angled thing set up here. I got it set back at about 5 degrees. I'm going to take that piece right here that we glued up. I got it all sanded down, but I'm going to put 3 holes right in the center of it at about 5 degrees, and you'll see why here in just a minute. But this is the first time I've ever used this little angled jig here, and I had it sitting there in the garage here for like 8 years now, and I've never used it, so first time using it. Not the easiest thing to use, that's for sure. Alright, so I got 3 little holes right there. I'm going to get this cleaned up. I got these little pieces of brass rod that I'm going to clean up and put them in the hole right there, so they can have 3 of them at about a 5-degree angle sticking up out of there like that. It'll look better in just a minute here. Alright, so we're about ready to start assembling this. This piece, I've gone ahead and cut 2 pocket holes in the back of it, put 2 mounting screws, brackets on the back of it, countersunk these so that they're underneath the back of that. So in this piece here, I went ahead and drilled little pilot holes along the front of this, and then 2 countersunk holes in the back of this. And we're going to mount this on top of here with glues and screws. So I'm going to start out with that. I'm going to do that first. I'm going to use a little CA glue and then Titebond 3. So Titebond 3 is pretty much all I ever use for glue other than CA glue. And I just use that the CA glue to hold things in place until the other glue dries and screws are in. So I'm putting a little bit of this. I'm going to try not to do too much, because I really do not want any squeeze out on this. Because I do not want it to affect the finish, which it will if you get too much and don't get it all off. I'm going to set this on its back and put a couple screws in the bottom of it, and hopefully that'll hold it right where we want it to be. There's the screws. And the screws I'm using are just some 1¼ inch wood screws. I'm right in the way here. That is not what I wanted it to do. Okay, now that we got that on there, this go down here. And that's how she's looking so far. Now we got these little corbels. And we're going to stick those right off the ends of here. And again, we're just going to use a little dab of CA glue on each end of this to same on this. Hardest part is make sure they're both going the right direction. Let that dry for a few minutes, let it set up real good, and then we'll finish this out. Move it around. Here's the other parts of it that I can't get to. Alright, let me see if I can just lay this back like that. So this is Helmsman Spar Urethane Clear Semi-Gloss. So we'll see how it does. Used this stuff like years ago. It's pretty good, I think. We'll see how it dries. Looks pretty good when it's wet. So the other ones that I ended up surfacing, this is the trivet that I made. It turned out pretty good. The other ones I ended up surfacing, I just cut them down to 4" by 4" little coaster pads. Took one of the pieces of walnut, drilled a hole in each corner, piece of walnut dowel, and I'm gonna end up gluing those in. But I want to finish these first. These I'm going to use some wax, beeswax, and mineral oil combination to finish these off. But I think with these two, I'm going to end up using the spar on those as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do those, and I can glue these pegs in after that, and I'll get these finished up with some beeswax and mineral oil and get these done. So I made this myself. It's just beeswax melted down with some mineral oil in it, and it works really good for sealing cutting boards, charcuterie boards. I don't do a whole lot of that kind of stuff, but it works for most things. Food grade stuff. Love to watch those colors come out. Alright, we'll let that sit on there for about 10 minutes and then I'll come back and buff that all off and I'll shine them up a little bit. I think it turned out pretty good. I'm liking the looks of it. So what we need to do now is we need to put these rods in the little holes right here. So I'm going to mix up some 2-part epoxy. And we're going to get these put in. Mix it up. We don't really need much. We just got to get it on the very end of it and shove it in the hole so it just holds it in there. Holes are pretty tight anyway, so it won't take. All right. And there's that. So probably really don't need these there. I'll just lay it down so I can see what I'm doing here. I don't know, I'd say that turned out looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the way that looks. I didn't get a whole lot of squeeze out around the end of those with the glue going in there, so I don't think I'm going to mess with it at all. Cup hooks on the bottom so you can hang necklaces. Little rods up here for rings. Place to put earrings, posts, or whatever other jewelry a woman would want to put on there. And hanging on a wall. So this solves a problem. If you got too much stuff on top of the dresser, you don't have enough room in your armoire, and you got more jewelry to put up, you got some place to put it now. And it looks nice.